on the questions, the things you are expected to know, the drawing sheets, and how to provide your answer. It's nice having you. Will be treated in details and the correct answers provided for the questions. So these are the list of the specimen that we will be handling to help questions that will follow very well. It's nice having all of you. We will first of all glide into those questions immediately. Okay, let's check the way. Okay, see the formats. At least they make work easier for us. These are the formats of the questions. I'll guide you through all of them, of course, how you'll be able to handle them. First of all, there are about 15 specimens to be drawn. Here is the giant. Here should be the grasshopper. Then remember, specimen, the letters I use here is not corresponding with it, but just see the drawing, the rules. I'll give you the cheat on how to go about this drawing. There are about 15 specimens, out of which we are expected to draw about 2, 3 out of the 15 specimens provided. Okay, so we will handle these questions carefully and then attend to your own personal question when you come there. Chat. I've handled specimen A down to H, I guess, to the humerus. So, like here is not P that it is. This is just the tuber of Irish potato. It's not specimen P, but I just use P to label it. Here you are required to say, they say, what is the level of organization of specimen P? That is, remember the tuber. Tuber is a storage organ. Both the tuber of Irish potato and the storage organ. Then what type of food is stored in specimen P? That is starch, carbohydrate. Then state 4 economic importance of specimen P to man. Those minor one, I started from the last list of specimen. They say, of course, it has nutritional value, it has a medicinal value, it is good source of income to farmers, of course, and then it is used in preparing filling of meat pie. And okay, that's so funny. Drawing sheets. Let's assume you are to draw housefly, which is specimen A. I won't be lasting too long. Anytime you come online, ask questions, I will handle it. First of all, remember that size of diagram should be obeyed. What we are going to do is to measure the length 10 to 12 or 8 to 6. Make sure, assume this is our visual ruler. Your job is to mark where your drawing started. Oh, Mary Ann, well done, well done. This is a revision class. Thank you for joining. You mark, maybe here is 0 and you come here and mark 8. Since they say 6 to 10, you are not allowed to exceed, if they say 6 to 8 cm, you are not going to exceed. So you can mark in the beginning so that you don't exceed it. Let's assume you are to draw a housefly. I'll just do that one. Remember, this is when my drawing started. You are just to do something like sphere first. In this sphere, you divide it like this, while you now make a V in the middle. Don't know if you are seeing what I'm doing. So like this, then antenna will be in the middle. Remember, antenna should be with double. You make it this way, and then this your line. You come down in the, make a V shape in this order, and then extend it a bit. Extend the same thing here. You have at least the thorax. So to show that this is the eye, you can remember shading is not allowed. Then here you can have a V shape structure. the metathorax. Then put a line here. You see how I started? Put a line here, put a line here. And then you have to put your abdomen bit bigger. Although let me, after I will explain how I did it again. Okay. And then the first set of legs should point up like this and like this. You see, we are getting there. You know, take it this way and take it that way. You can put the tiny spines that are there. Thank you, sir. Okay, you're welcome, Faith. Thank you. We are giving you the final revision. Remember, this is a revision class. And then the wings should be, you can extend the wing so that it can be clear. You can extend it like this, like a curve. Then the other one moves this way. You show that is a membranous wing. It's an annotated diagram, of course. Remember to write the title. The line is to guide me, and I think I've not exceeded it, and it is 6 to 8. So I can now clean off my line and continue my drawing. We are not talking about the beauty of your diagram. It's a diagram that is meant to pass some message, not that is to look like an artistic drawing. If you follow artistic pattern, you might get wrong. Okay, see this now. Then there should be segmentation of the abdomen. All right, so I think the job is half done. Then the next leg should be here. All right, and then the last one, although you try to make it you know, we are not perfect, you can still modify, but I've told you what to do in the beginning, how to get the diagram a bit correct, but make sure that your drawing is at least similar to what you are expected to draw. Yeah, so this my segmentation. It's not majestic, so I need to still do it the majestic way. Remember to ask your questions, please. I won't last so long in this live stream, just teach you a few things and go. Then the last leg is I should go up a bit. So remember to make it 6 pairs. I mean 6 legs, not 6 pairs, please. When I say 6 pairs, that's 12. 3 pairs of walking legs, which must be jointed. Okay, you show the spines. All right, then this one goes this way. So where I started by, how did I start all this drawing? Now at least we have our housefly standing in our front. I started drawing by, what I said was, you first of all make what? A sphere like this, then carve out this part, carve out this part, put a V shape. In the middle, draw your double lines, segment it, okay, and then in that point you still make your V shape. So the features needed, the next thing is you try to label. Make sure your lines of label will be straight. I just want to do this again, maybe for those that is just joining now. And then you have your metathorax, just like a V-shaped thing. Then you now over here you put another one. You got the job done. You start adding up to show that this is I, you can put it. So the next is to label. Remember, there should be caption. You say diagram of. You must say diagram of specimen. If they say dorsal view, you say dorsal view of specimen. And so you draw your title according to the question. Diagram of specimen A, bracket what? House fly. Then beneath it, you write your mg. You must say mg and you say times. For house fly, what are the permitted range of the magnification we should use? We should use around at least 5 times or 4 times, but 5, 6, 7 times magnification is okay for house fly. So you must write that mg, and your title you should underline. Don't just write specimen A. You must say diagram of. Am I making sense here? Okay. So that's it. We go to the next one. Remember, lines of labeling. Correct labeling is always called half mark. So which means 2 correct labeling means 2 marks. 2 correct labeling. Your lines of label must be straight. See it? Oh, I'm cleaning. And your lines of label must not cross. Now, for writing lines of label, you can write with pen. Writing the labeled part, you can write with pen or write with pencil. The writing, like writing the parts. Your guidelines must touch, as you can see, it's touching the diagram. It's touching that part I want to label. Let it not hang. Okay. Then here is the head. Over there is antenna. Then in that head you can equally see the eye, the compound eye. You show that. Try to find a way to separate the two. Then here is the thorax. Here is the membranous wing. Here is the abdomen. And here is the pair of call here walking legs. Okay. Yeah. So in writing the parts you drew, I said you can use pen or use pencil. Maybe assuming here is our so you can simply say antenna. Here is the head. You also show the compound eye. You use pen. You can use pencil also in writing these parts. So these are the rules. Maybe the next specimen should be spider. If you are told to draw these 15 specimen they brought out, we wouldn't know where to start anyway. But what matters is that I'm giving you the little cheats that you need to succeed in this exam. All right. The next specimen is spider. The cheat on drawing spider, which is specimen B. Remember the rules, not just to draw, you must write the diagram of or the drawing showing. All right. In this, the thickness should come up a bit. For spider, simply remember spider have 4 pairs of working legs, okay? While insects like this, I've done a video on these things. It has 6 pairs of working leg, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. Then, in this case, we want to draw that of a spider, which is specimen B. That is the drawing of the spider. Maybe I will make the pen more a bit thicker. Remember, we have different species of spider, so that's specimen B. What's the drawing cheat? Let me take this to pencil. All right. The drawing cheat is that you have to just make an oval shaped. See this oval in shape. Remember to measure before drawing. Then the next one, there are different species. that will have very much pronounced that the abdomen is too large, and then show your spinneret down here, then show your compound eye, then in the compound eye you show your the palp. This one is not the leg or part of the mouth part. And then in that first section, which is the cephalothorax, you need to show pairs of what? 4 pairs of walking legs, jointed pairs of legs. Then first two should point up, then the next two will point downwards. You see it? So when you do it like this, you got the job done. The same thing on this side. Although there are plenty specimens, we don't know which one they will draw. But just giving you the sheets for the few ones I can give you here. So you have your specimen B settled. Remember to obey the size of the diagram. We now have 4 pairs of walking leg, 1, 2, 3, 4, which totals 8. And one might expect the difference. Your guidelines must be ruled. There is walking leg. Here is the cephalothorax. Remember, it has 2 body divisions. There is nothing much to label. Here is the abdomen, and here is the spinneret for producing the cocoon. We are settled with this now. Now, the next one we want to draw is the pride of Barbados flower. The pride of Barbados flower. How do you go about that? Remember that this title is wrong. Oh. This spider, specimen B, you don't use pen for it. Let me clean it before some people get misconception about that. I'm supposed to write the drawing of specimen B. If the question says dorsal view, you draw the dorsal view. If it says but it is probably the ventral dorsal, it should be the dorsal view. You have to write it. Drawing or diagram of spider, or diagram of specimen B. Then come down here and make sure you indicate your words. Don't use woolly lines, clean lines. You write magnification. For spider, you can still use that ×5 and above. Your drawing must be bigger than it. Okay, I've discussed the economic importance of all this in my video. Then the next specimen I will draw, apart from the ones I've shown you, let's take a look at the pride of Barbados and give you the cheat on how to get about them. Diagram of the pride of Barbados flower. Pride of Barbados flower. They might tell you to cut it longitudinally, and that reminds me, please, Barbados, this pride of Barbados is radially symmetrical because the floral leaves occur in 5s. The floral leaves means the sepals and the petals. Okay, the diagram of it you underline. Then obey the size of your drawing. Make sure you follow the size indicated by the examiner. I'm cleaning off to write these things normal on the line that I made. Okay, the drawing sheets, that's what we are doing here. You have diagram of the flower of pride of Barbados. Please remember to ask your questions. Those online, thank you for tuning in. Those that joined later, maybe you are getting this after the live stream, I also thank you. Just ask your question anytime. I will attend to it, okay, at the comment section. So the diagram, we are drawing a flower. Remember, it has what we call superior ovary. So you start by just make small circle, and in that circle you connect the two edges of the circle, move down. You have gotten the what? The style and the stigma. Then over that point you extend it ovally to show the oval. Then from the oval you start up again to show the anthers and the anther filament, those things that hold the anther filament. Remember, this class is a revision class. It's not in any way connected to examination malpractice. We don't give you fish. We teach you how to go and catch your own fish. The channel is created to help you academically and not to kill you academically. So this live stream is for final revision, and we will be bringing it for you for English, mathematics, in all the subjects across here, and then even in chemistry. But for my channel, Her Majesty's World Science channel, I will now focus on real sciences. There are amazing experiments going on there, and then live stream for the real experiment will also go on there. All right, so if you have finished this now, you extend. The next one should be the sepals, not the sepals, sorry, the petals first goes first. You have to make it show that it is. Then the next one is also the, remember, you have to obey the size. I told you how to do that in the first drawing. Then you can also extend again. Another sepal I can show off here is possible. That's one showing behind the drawing. Remember, no matter what, you are not allowed to shade anything in biology. And then here we go. We have our pride of Barbados. Can just show this little venation. Can now label well. Remember, magnification is a must for any drawing in biology. Magnification for pride of Barbados. Nobody knows the size. You can use ×1 or ×2. Don't use ×5. This is not appropriate for that. This is the longitudinal section. If the question says draw the longitudinal section, when they tell you with the help of a scraper or a razor blade, bisect this, you now say the drawing of the longitudinal section, because what I drew here is actually the longitudinal section. And this is a radially symmetrical flower because the floral leaves occur in the drawing of the floral leaves occur in fives. When it occurs in even number like 4, it is bilaterally symmetrical. But when the floral leaves is occurring in 5, 3, you say it is what? So you say longitudinal section of specimen. I don't know the actual specimen. Maybe let me check the list of specimen here. Pride of Barbados is specimen C. Okay, drawing of specimen C. Got your mark covered. So other things that I did not treat in the previous video, I have to lay more emphasis on them. Remember, your lines of label must be straight, no shading of any type. All right. So we discussed the humerus of a rabbit, the femur of a rabbit, the orange fruit, the honeybee. The drawing of the honeybee is here, of which I have shown you. The drawing of the grasshopper this is not the drawing. These are the images. I want to check. I have the drawing. Yeah. So this should be the honeybee. Don't worry about the specimen G written down here. This is your grasshopper, the hind leg. Then we might be told to detach this hind leg and limb and the label. If you detach, there is the coxa, the femur, the tibia, and the tarsal. The coxa, the tibia, and the tarsal. That is, if they ask you, then you label the spines. You see these spines, you show it. Like they can tell us to detach the hind limb of grasshopper and draw and label. So if they do that, you just need to show the coxa, which comes first before that bigger. Then there will be this joint, which then extends this way. Then we have the before the tarsals. So you show that here is the coxa, and here is your femur. So here is the femur part of it, the coxa. Although you should label one side, but this type of drawing, I wouldn't know what they expect us. The tibia, okay, and here is the tarsal. So in case, you just prepare against all odds. All right. Now there is a question paper here we might be using to guide you. It's not the real question. If it is, I won't use it for this live stream. If you look here, they say identify A, B, C, D, and E without reason. I say this is just a format of how they ask. Meaning, if you come to this A, what do? You just write according to the specimen. Now, immediately you write exactly. Don't go giving reason. They say identify without reason. You just say specimen A. You simply write what's there. Simply write house fly. Okay. Something. Oh, don't spell. Don't separate the two, please. Housefly should be spelled together. Then I have a separate video where I treated the scientific nomenclature for all these species. Just straightforward identify what it is. Okay. So you just identify without giving reason or telling much stories. If the question say without reason, you just write housefly. If you are needed to write the scientific name, they will tell you something like that. Maybe they will now come down and say draw a label diagram 8 to 10 cm cube long. 8 to 10 means if you draw 8 is accepted, 8 cm is accepted. If you draw 6 is not accepted. If you draw 7 is accepted. If you draw 9 is accepted. If you draw 10 is accepted. 8 to 10 doesn't mean that length is that the width is 8 and length is 10. No, that's not the meaning. The length given to you is for the measure drawing. So this space given, see, they didn't measure it for you. You are the one that will measure this point and this point and know what it is talking about. All right. Then I will display some of the videos where I drew some of the specimen at the Sa Majesty Easy World Science channel. These videos have been there. You can see, or I will place the link. Yeah, it's better to save time instead of playing it over here. The drawing of the femur, the drawing of the humerus, and many of them, because Sa Majesty's World Science channel has been existing there for long before I now created this one to handle only tutorial so that we can deal with sciences over there. So I will go through the specimen again, but be reminded that I have a video already for this NECO exams, a video treating the whole specimen. All right, so if you are on there and you have any question, you ask, because I am going off the line. So the honeybee, remember, watch this: housefly, butterfly, grasshopper, and honeybee are all insects. and they share similar adaptive or adaptative features, or survival features, and they are all arthropods. In addition to crayfish is an arthropod but belongs to crustaceans. Grasshopper is also an insect. Then another spider is an arachnida. So remember that crayfish has 10 walking legs, which means 5 pairs of walking legs, while spider shares how many pairs? Shares 4 pairs. Then housefly, butterfly, grasshopper, and honeybee all have what? 3 pairs of walking leg. Then orange fruit, and guava fruit, both of them are fleshy fruits, and they are actually berry. But the type of placentation in guava is what I cannot actually tell you for sure. But let me check the image. Okay, yeah, it has axi placentation also. So this is the view of the guava. This is the transverse section. I hope we know which one is transverse section and which one is longitudinal section. If this is the shape of guava fruits, if I bisect it, if I cut it like this, is longitudinal section. But if I cut it like this, it's called transverse section or cross section. So here is longitudinal section, while here is transverse what? Section. All right. So it has also axi placentation, just like so we are driving similarities between them. Look at it. Look at the septa separating each one. This is the placenta now in the middle, while this is the septa separating each chamber. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they are all formed from ovary that is syncarpous, that is fused together. So you should be able to give the differences and the similarities between this guava fruit and the orange fruit. The differences are that or rather, both are fleshy fruit. That's the similarities. Both are fleshy fruit. Both contain seed. And then when you come to differences, let me finish similarities. Both orange and guava are fleshy fruits. Both contain seed. Both have axi placentation. That is only if they tell you to cut it before you can now freely say that it has axi what? Placentation, if you cut across it. But if they say observable features, don't speak abstract, okay? Then what are the differences? At least orange have a rind, but guava doesn't have a rind. That is what we call leathery rind. Although both of them, the epicarp becomes the epicarp becomes difficult to separate from mesocarp. Okay. Then if we look at humerus and femur, the difference is that femur have a pronounced neck, but humerus don't have a pronounced neck. Similarity between humerus and femur is that both are long bones and both have two what? Heads. Two heads, the distal head and the proximal head. The head that is directly attached to the body of the organism is proximal. Then the head that is attached to the next bone is distal head. Okay, so both are long bone, both have two heads, which are the proximal head and the distal head. Presence of shafts in both of them. Both of them have shafts. All right. To extend this, if we have a drawing looking more of this, like this, though I want to use that of, yeah, this femur, though in rabbit is not as pronounced as this. So this middle, we'll go down here, we will have, depends on the one you are drawing, the patellar groove and so on. So this is the head, this is another head, and both are growing heads. Then this middle is the shaft. So you have the trochanter, the lesser trochanter, while here is the pronounced neck for femur. All right. So you endeavor to watch the video. I'll give you the link on. So let's look at another thing. Then honeybee. What are the economic importance of honeybee? You know, they produce honey, which is a source of income and is actually used in making drugs. Then honeybee themselves are, some species are dangerous insects that can kill. Then giant land snail. The adaptive features of giant land snail is that they hibernate, some of them also estivate. Remember, hibernation and estivation are not exactly the same. So the behavioral adaptation for land snail, that is a Achatina species, is that it hibernates. If you write estivate, you are still correct. Different species, they share both of them. The presence of tentacles. Remember, housefly and this butterfly, they all have antenna, which is their tactile organ. But land snail have tentacles. If you touch their tentacle, they will withdraw. They use their tentacles as insects use their antenna. All right. They have muscular foot known as the mantle. I'm telling you the adaptive features. The mantle, which enables them to crawl well. So I can show you the images, and from there we can derive more of the adaptive features. You see over here, this is the muscular foot, presence of shell for protection. Look at the oculiferous tentacles. Then it is also, these are tentacles still. All of them play the same work. Then the body here should be the mantle. Have the genital paw. So in case question comes there, and remember it belongs to the phylum Mollusca. The phylum is Mollusca, and is they walk on their belly, gastropod. That should be the under the Mollusca phylum. The class is gastropoda, is specifically a gastropod, meaning they walk on their, gastric juice for human being is the one in the stomach. So it's gastropoda, spelled gastropoda. Okay, that's it. And then I think other specimen I didn't touch. I'll try touching them before. I thank you guys for actually tuning in and wishing you the best of luck for your exams. I think I have done justice to most of these specimen. The only thing I have to do again now before going is that I'll go through the past question and see the pattern that they used to ask question. Like from that thing, we can now infer and relate it to the specimen that was provided for us. For instance, we expect differences. They say the type of metamorphosis exhibited by specimen B. Remember that metamorphosis must surely show, because if you watch that my video, you see the types of metamorphosis, like grasshopper undergoes incomplete metamorphosis, housefly undergoes complete metamorphosis. Remember that complete and incomplete metamorphosis is characterized, when we say complete, it moves from egg to larva, larva to what? Adult, and sorry, egg to larva, larva to pupa, pupa to adult. That shows complete. So let's assume we don't, specimen B here is spider. Spider, for instance, here you write incomplete. Spider undergoes incomplete metamorphosis. Incomplete metamorphosis. Spell correctly. Okay. It undergoes incomplete metamorphosis. Then maybe I wouldn't know what E is here, but remember this question paper is not the one you will see tomorrow or you see today, depending on when we are watching this. It's just a prototype. If E, for instance, is going incomplete, you write it also. But what is the sign of incomplete metamorphosis? When organism develop from egg to larva, larva to pupa or imago. Pupa is just the miniature version of the adult, then finally to adult. We say that such metamorphosis is what? Complete. But when we say incomplete, okay, sorry, this is complete metamorphosis. Please, correction. The arrow here shouldn't be. Please, this one I wrote down now is for complete, please. Complete, which is holometabolism. But incomplete metamorphosis, organism move from egg to what? Nymph. The nymph is just the miniature version of the adult to what? The adult form. They skip larva and pupa. Okay, you should also learn the larva stages, the name of the larva stages of each of the insects provided, like maggot, the larva stage of housefly is maggot. The larval stage of butterfly is caterpillar. Remember, butterfly is referred to as friend of farmers. Butterfly, we call them friend of farmers. Why? Because they are agents of what? Pollination. But the caterpillar, the larval stage, are typical enemy to farmers. So remember, when the question is asking you about the larval stage of butterfly, they are very destructive to farmers. But the butterfly are friends of farmers. Why? Because they are agents of what? Pollination. All right. We are using this as a prototype to see. Then they say name the shape of specimen D. Of course, there is none of the specimen that came out that they will ask us the shape, I don't think. Then the other question says name the outer covering of specimen. It's possible, like shell for snail. The outer covering is shell now. So if they tell you to name that one, you say the name is shell. Let's check the list of the specimen. I can't really, but let me try remembering and checking what's possible. Like any question we see here, we relate it to the specimen we have. Okay, like crayfish, the outer covering should be the carapace and its chitinous exoskeleton. Crayfish is chitinous. All the arthropods have what we call chitinous exoskeleton. That's chitinous. Some call it chitinous, no problem. And it has carapace, that's the covering. Maybe they say, of what importance is your answer to this? Meaning the chitinous or the carapace is for protection. We see it both in spider and also in the crayfish. Strong one. Then the pincers is for protection. I've made the state four structural differences between B and C. We should expect structural differences like housefly and spider. When they say structural differences, please start stating what is visible. Maybe structural differences between housefly and crayfish. Maybe here and then crayfish. You just say presence of this is presence of a pair of antenna, because you can see that presence of a pair of what? Antenna. While here has two pairs of antenna. Crustaceans has this particular crayfish has two pairs of antenna. Absent of pincers. Absence of pincers. Okay. No, let me act as if this is actually our paper. So say absence of pincers, presence of pincers. Okay. So make sure you state what you are seeing. 3 pairs of walking legs. 3 pairs of what? Walking legs. What is here? 5 pairs, or you say 10 of legs. The first one is modified as the Chelicera. Maybe get ready. Now, can we draw a food chain from the list of specimen? Is there any connection that can make us establish a food chain? We have grasshopper, we don't have grass. We have, I think, food chain is difficult. But mutualism, they might tell you to establish between two organisms that show, the biological association that is called mutualism. Mutualism exists between pride of Barbados and butterfly. Mutualism or symbiosis. Remember, symbiosis is more broad. Is any biological association, we call it symbiosis, okay? But mutualism is whereby two organisms both benefit from each other. So butterfly and what? And the pride of Barbados exhibit it. Why? The butterfly is the agent of pollination. It transfers pollen grain from anther to stigma to help it pollinate. Then why the pride of Barbados provides nectar, source of food. So if you scratch my back, I scratch your back. Okay, but food chain, I can't see the possibility of food chain coming out because I don't see a link. between the two specimen. All right. So the other questions are identify EJH. They say state the type of germination exhibited by F. Yes, we have bean seed. What type of germination is exhibited by bean? Epigeal germination. That is whereby you simply just say epigeal, whereby the cotyledons are carried above the soil. They say give one reason for your answer. So why did you say epigeal germination? You say the cotyledons are carried above the soil. Then name one animal each that possesses specimen IJ. There is no such. Okay, yeah, they can do that for humerus and femur. So you can just name any mammal. You can name any small mammal. Do you understand that? For femur and humerus, you just say rabbit or rat. Apart from that, no other specimen that can be found in one organism. They say, remember, these questions are not the question you will see, please. I'm using it to help us. State one function each of specimen I, J, K in the animal that possesses it, which is possible. The specimen that is part of the whole is that femur and humerus. The humerus provides support for the upper arm. It also provides attachment for muscles and bones. Sorry, for muscles itself, because it is bone now. Then it is producing blood. All long bones are hemapoietic. Hemapoiesis, hema is blood, is the production of blood. So they produce red blood cells. While femur provides support for the lower limb, okay, the upper part of the lower limb. Then let's check. They say state the habitat. Of course, everybody should get ready for habitat. Like, what's the habitat of crayfish? You say aquatic habitat. Grasshopper, grassland. What's the habitat of housefly? Don't be too broad for habitat. Okay, housefly is a human dwelling at dumps and so on and so forth. They list 3 castes of specimen H. You know that specimen H here is K, honeybee. In honeybee, there are different castes in honeybee. I think we have the honeybee, we have the queen. I can't, but there are different castes in honeybee. So we can experience that in specimen K, which is honeybee. I think we have the workers and so on and so forth, because they are social insects. Yes, they have division of labor. That is for honeybee. So try to find other castes of the honeybee and then know the reason for one, because they might tell you to what caste or what's the caste of, that's the area of specialty, division of labor. Like in our house, we have children, father, mother. Everybody's work is divided. We have governor, we have a president. Division of labor among organisms. That's for the sign of social insects. So you get ready. Just memorize one case and how we know them. Do you understand now? So that if they tell you what's the case, nobody knows the particular honeybee that was provided for you. You call anyone and give reason. Okay. Over here, the differences are there. They say 3 adaptive features. Everybody should get ready for adaptive features, of course. Name the mode of feeding exhibited by specimen L. Do we need any mode of feeding? Like in Pride of Barbados, is still, I discussed all these things. Mode of feeding, when you come to guava, orange, they are photosynthetic, but every other animal is heterotrophic, but you need to be more specific. Don't be too broad, okay? I think with this, I am saying thank you guys for coming around to watch. Please subscribe and share this video. And we don't support my practice in any way. Please, you can visit Her Majesty's World Science channel to learn science. If you are in love with practicals and experiments, you can do yourself good by visiting that channel. You will see many interesting things. Remember, this is image showing the type of germination, which is a epigia. The cotyledons are carried above. This scale, yes, get ready to differentiate between seeds and fruits. That particular bean seed and guava fruit or orange, This is a seed, while orange or guava are fruits. I've differentiated them in my previous video. So this is the fruit produced by Pride of Barbados. This is the Pride of Barbados itself. Remember, it's petaloid. Petaloid means that the sepals are brightly colored. Over here are the sepals. Here are the petals. Are you seeing that the sepals, which is supposed to be green, is brightly colored also, like the sepals? It helps to attract insects. So these are what? Insect pollinated flower. We call it entomophilous flower. Then what type of flower is this? It can be hypogynous. So go through the video. If you want any video you demand for it, I'll give you the link for the detailed explanation of all these specimen. Okay, I said entomophilous, meaning insect pollinated flower. So control measures, how do you control spider, is there in the video. You see the adaptive features, how it can survive, scientific name, and reasons for each classification. It's been nice having you guys around. Thank you so much. For those that are still online, bye for now. Best of luck.